What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Bachata Rockstar here. Time for another Star Realms replay, and time for a game where I don't think I play that well, but I get pretty lucky, and just goes to show. Sometimes you gotta play your routes. Sometimes you're probably going to lose, but there's a chance. There's always a chance. Never give up. All right, let's take a look. Let's dive in. Here we go. Playing against Mikalkis. Mikalkis probably. And already starting off with a big one trade whiffer differ. So we get the only card we can, the Imperial Fighter. It's fine. Get some damage. Potentially, I could make my opponent discard 2 later on, which might affect their buys. So I think Imperial Fighter is actually a little better than people think. My opponent picks up the Mining Mech. That's fine. It's 3 trade. It scraps. He's setting up for a long game. It's a little less effective when there's not that many big purchases out here to make, but still fine. Still fine. Since I know my opponent is going to be scrapping hard now, or at least harder than me, my initial inclination is to shoot him in the face and kill him. So I'm thinking Predator Battle Pod here. I think that's probably the best play. Just go aggressive. Kill him before his scrap edge happens. Mm-hmm. Ooh, and we flip a Crusher. Maybe we can get the Crusher later too. Who knows? Es posible. We are going first. Okay, he picks up the Crusher, and this is a good move, right? He's got a scrap edge. He's got to keep me from going super aggressive against him. Picking up the Crusher is fine. Another argument could be made to pick up the Outland Station and mitigate 7 damage. Potentially get some trade too, or maybe even go for Battle Station. But leaving me the Crusher is not a good idea because not only does it deal 6 damage, it also potentially gives me 2 trade, which could let me get Plasma Vent. This is a good keep away for him. Now he has a good shot at getting Plasma Vent too. Okay, so I still want to keep the aggressive route. But the problem is I can't afford Plasma Vent, so can't really do that. And none of these other cards are really aggressive. So what's the best card out of them? Um, I have 5 trade, so an argument could be made to go Outland Station, Storage Silo, and double up on my blues, potentially get more trade, try to trade up for something else. But I'm not really in it to play the long game. I may get more life, but because he is the scrapper is going to eventually grind me out, and he's going to have a better deck than me. So I'm not trying to extend the game. I'm trying to end the game. And the only card that's going to allow me to end the game is the Command Center. The Command Center has 2 trade on it, but it also combos with all my yellow ships and gives me 2 extra damage. So that's the best card in terms of like versatility, or at least utility. It's going to give me trade. It's going to potentially give me damage. It may allow me to work up to Plasma Vent. There's not a lot of damage out here, though. It's mostly bases, and so I don't know if an aggro strategy is necessarily going to work anymore. So I'll have to reevaluate on future turns. But right now, the Command Center is the best play. Remember that um, he's got a Crusher and he's got a Mining Mech. So he hasn't really committed to anything yet. So we're still on the offensive in that sense, but it's going to be hard to be offensive given these very defensive cards. Ooh, and we pick up... Sorry, I went a little fast there. And we pick up that Builder Bot. This is nice. We can start scrapping now too. So maybe we can become a little more efficient. Hopefully some more damage flips out. We can do something with that. My opponent has 4. He picks the Outland Station. This is fine. This is kind of what I was saying before. How he wants to play a little bit of a longer game. He wants to mitigate damage as much as possible. Outland Station is the best card for it. Battle Station does block the face, but this heals for 3 and absorbs 4. So this is actually a better card overall in terms of life total protection. Oh, nice. We get Missile Bot. I think. Yeah. And we end up scrapping the jamming terminal, which I think is a little bit of a mistake. I think we should actually scrap the plasma vent. Because him putting the plasma vent in his hand it's a way that he wins, or at least it's a way that he blunts our attack. I think maybe I was getting greedy and thinking, ooh, I could pick it up later, but I don't really have a lot of extra trade myself, aside from the command center. I have to go command center, blob, and pick up 6 trade. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. So scrapping the plasma vent is actually the better play. Even though plasma vent is better for my deck, it's much more detrimental if he gets it. So I think this is absolutely a mistake-orama. And then it flips a battle blob, which is really unfortunate because now I have 2 giant blobs to contend with that I probably won't be able to buy. But we do pick up another scrapper. We are going aggressive. We drop 13 on him, so we're feeling all right. And we forced him to discard. Look what happens. He only has 5 trade. Some of y'all be shitting on Imperial Fighter, man. Some of y'all shit on that card, calling it the worst 1-drop. I would argue this is an example of its power. Now, obviously, this is a very somewhat narrow situation, but it comes up more often than you think. Getting that 1 extra discard screws your opponent up a lot more than you might think, especially when it's just a trade heavy board, when it has really expensive things on the trade row. So my opponent ends up getting the storage silo, and oh, he ends up getting the trade hauler too. So again, he's going heavy trade, he's going heavy heal. I think it's fine, but you know, he's given me a chance to kind of come back here, or not come back, but to like keep the aggression going. So he's kind of hoping to swing the game, but I don't know. I don't know if I like this decision buying the trade hauler. I think getting the battle station would have been better. You could have blocked for 5 instead of 3, or you know, healed for 3, and then it would have comboed with your mining mech, give you a little extra damage. You know, how do you win the game? I don't think you win the game by acquiring more trade. And of course, we whiff on scrap, so that's unfortunate. And we end up scrapping Battle Blob, which actually is the best play. This card is super dangerous for him, arguably more so than the Plasma Vent. So I'm okay with scrapping it. And we leave the Battle Cruiser for ourselves to potentially get later. Oh, nice. And we pick up a Falcon. This is good. This is good. Everything's fine. Okay, so can't complain too much. You know, he's got a not insignificant amount of healing, but not something that we can't stretch out and kill with our extra damage that we have. So, you know, unless he picks up the Federation battleship, I mean, I think we'll be fine. And he picks up Orbital Shuttle and another Scrapper. Ugh. I hate him picking up Scrappers. But he has been kind of bloating his deck, so again, it's going to take him a little while to get through, but that is unfortunate for us. And he picks up an Explorer. That's a bad play. That's another purchase he should not make. So you notice he's making a lot of buys that are making his deck a little bit fatter than it should. Remember that every trade card that you pick up is a card that should be doing damage and isn't. Okay, we got another yellow base. So we're getting kind of yellow basey, greeny damage. So our plan is pretty clear, right? Yellow bases that draw, green cards that deal damage, yellow cards that deal damage. So we're aggressive, card draw, deck. The plan is there. He's already down to 25, so we just gotta keep firing, baby. Then he uses all his trade to pick up Battle Cruiser. Ugh. He's got a lot of good cards. He's got to draw them. He's got a lot of good cards, though. And there you go. Another yellow base. This is fine. It's a card draw base. We're okay with that. Okay, so, you know, would have liked more damage. Would have liked to have killed the storage silo. But again, like I said, if he doesn't get Federation Battleship, I think we just grind him out. And he gets Federation Battleship. Well, that's unfortunate. Good news is Still got a couple of turns before he sees it. And, hey, look at that. Command Center lives. So we're going to scrap some stuff. Pick up one of these farm ships. And just another yellow card. It gives us trade. It gives us damage. I think arguably you could make another argument to pick up Mech World. But this gives us a chance to get Plasma Vent too. And he hasn't seemed too keen on grabbing it. So I think it's fine. The important thing, though, is that we scrapped a scout. And I am trying to get rid of all my scouts at this point, just so I can be very focused, very damage efficient. That is the plan. Oh, no. Oh, no. See, and then another weird play. He scraps down, right? Scraps 2 cards, plays the Crusher, has enough to get Plasma Vent, and then gets Mech World? Why? Puts Mech World into his deck when he could put Plasma Vent into his hand? Why? It's not that good a card. You know, gets more healing trade damage, but then picks up a Frontier Rider. Like he's just bloating his deck. He doesn't need these cards. 3 purchases, 3 draws that he's gonna have later that he just doesn't need. You know, what if he just has a shit turn, and the likelihood of him having a shit turn is increasing because he's putting all these freaking bad cards in his deck. These weighted cards that don't deal damage into his deck. Nice, nice. Discard Scout, that's fine. And we decide not to throw any of these away. we want the extra damage here. Yeah, so we finally get rid of the Plasma Vent. It's just too scary. Smack him in the face, take him down under 20. Okay, alright, we're feeling alright. We're feeling alright. Okay, I don't understand this either. What the hell? Why not just kill the base? Why not keep that? So 5 damage is out of his base forever. So was he Oh, he was trying to get I see. He was trying to get Transit Nexus. That makes sense. But again, like, you're trading damage in hand and card draw in hand for a base that doesn't really help you that much. That's a mostly defensive base. And, you know, he picks up a discard card draw, then he gets another base that he doesn't really need. You know, he's like, I don't know if these plays are worth it. Like, his deck is so bloated at this point. We're down to 18 though. Depends on his draws from here. And then what? Why would you do that? Why not keep it up? Wow, this dude is making a ton of mistakes. Wouldn't be surprised if we came back in this one. Oh, wow. Look at this. What? Scraps the Fed battleship. You weren't in danger of dying. Wow. Oh my god. What the hell is this dude doing? Oh, this is terrible. Yep. Get all the damage. Get all the card draws. Scrap this. Let's deal some more damage. Yep. Picked up the Fed battleship to give us a little heal, a little bit of damage. Ooh, he's forced to scrap the battle station to kill these. Interesting. Okay. So let's not die. Try not to die. Okay, and we get a little bit of healing. That's good. Okay, alright. Let's try not to die here. See? And then, you know, yeah, he takes me down, but look at this. This is not really that good of a turn. Okay. So we just kind of need him to whiff. Just whiff. If he whiffs once, I think we can get him. Let's scrap like hell. Let's draw some cards. Okay. Don't have 4. There it is. Right? That's the shitty turn we were talking about. That's what we were saying. How he bloated his deck and he just didn't quite have enough damage. All we need is 18. That shouldn't be too hard. Ooh, just enough. Ball game. That's ball game. This is what happens when you build your deck. Did I get lucky? Hell yeah, I got lucky. But my opponent gave me a lot of opportunities to get lucky. And the thing is, if you're on Mikalkis' side and you're playing that game, you're probably wondering how the hell you lost. You're probably thinking you got unlucky. You're like, oh my god, so unlucky. He just, he got the right cards at the right time. Like, I scrapped for one thing. He kind of scrapped, but not. I actually ended up scrapping harder than him. And he kept buying cards he didn't need. I mean, it is a fundamental of this game, but it's something that's so huge. It's one of the best lessons I can teach somebody is don't add cards to your deck that you don't need, that don't serve a purpose, that don't move you closer to winning the game. Healing and bases, the only way that they win is to then acquire damage behind it. You always need to be thinking, how much damage am I going to need to kill my opponent? If you forget that, this is what happens. You can play purely defensively when you didn't need to. When you'd gotten, I was down to 18. If he added a few more damage, if he just kept, he scrapped away the fed battleship and the battle cruiser. That's 10 damage right there that he should have had that he didn't. Because he was scared of dying himself. Don't be afraid of dying. Just win. If you die, you die. The important thing is that you go for the win. This is a game, this is a game of percentages, and he kept adding a bunch of negative percentage cards to his deck, and he lost. So, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for watching. See y'all later.